by Mr. Lee's fanciful theories. Is this such a serious thing? After all, we pay nothing. Who defended us against the Indians and the French? And what did we pay for that? And is it not reasonable that we make some return to the mother country for all that they've done for us?
We submit that such impositions, such taxes should be imposed by a duly elected legislature of our choosing. We are subjects, we are not enslaved.
Precisely so, sir. The only body that is empowered to lay taxes upon we Virginians is the Assembly in Williamsburg. And that's the only one whose authority in that regard we respect, because we are therefore represented. I am indeed a Burgess myself.
Seems to me you're making a great deal out of theory, sir, when the consequences are very slight.
They may not be slight for your husband, Mom, I dare say, if he does not see the error of his ways.
£2,800. And what will he do with the ship? And what will he do with the grain, sir, if he cannot export it?
Madam, you calm thyself. You are getting warm.
I am warm, sir. You are talking about threatening my husband.
We are not threatening your husband, ma'am. We are merely upset. That, madam, is a pistol, if you do not know. The call has gone out because for those to bring pistols and swords, and if they have them, firelocks. Because the last time we endeavored to talk to your husband, we were rebuffed when he brought in the Marines, so to speak.
Sir, it seems to me that your liberties are for you only, and others will be coerced into going along with your plan for things. Why can my husband not do his own liberty and take his stamps and send his ship?
Because if we allow him to do just that, then every merchant throughout the colony of Virginia will do the same, and we shall be enslaved to His Majesty. We must take a stand now.
If anyone was permitted, Mom, to put his own particular interest, we all have our own interests, ahead of the greater good, the common good.
Well, are you not doing the same thing, sir? We have perfectly adequate legislative mechanisms in this colony. And they do not include people taking their own pistols and going and threatening other men in the streets. Are you not doing the same lawless coercion that you accuse the British government of doing toward us?
We are merely endeavoring to persuade.
Yes, I've seen such persuasion. And so perhaps is the stamp tax, not even enforced as seriously as you seem to wish to enforce its opposite.
He has gotten the stamps somewhere.
Indeed he has.
And intends to use them. And if he does use them, and if he is permitted to use them, he is suffered to use them, then our entire cause
Your cause
evaporates,
smacks of treason to
and
me,
we
sir.
become slaves.
I have not seen you in it. Do you look like a slave? It seems to me this is a perfectly adequate establishment. You are going about at leisure, you are free to come and go and do your business. It's my husband who would be enslaved to your principles and theories.
We are economically and politically enslaved. Not in a biblical sense, certainly, but economically and politically, indeed we are. And if we do not take this stand, then all is lost. We shall, our descendants for generations will be shackled economically.
Is there any man in this room who disagrees with us?
See, there you have
I could find many who disagree with you, and they would be better men than you.
Let's talk to my sister.
Well,
Yes,
sir, you are my own brother. And you are going to do this to my husband. You just don't like him. You never did. You never thought we should get married.
You sound like your mother now.
I could see, sir, that your youth was spent in the company of a harpy.
And you, sir, all you know is insults. Insults. Is this a way to conduct a rational debate? Sir, I have scored many points, but you have ignored them. You speak of being enslaved. What of us women, sir? Is that slavery? Or is it compatible with the decent order of things, that which you are seeking to disrupt?
You have the direction of the plantation, madam, and the children. What more do you wish?
Well, there you are, and you have the direction of your plantation and your family and your children. What more do you wish?
It is not for me to suggest that any of us, in that regard, move to disrupt in any way the divinely ordered nature of things.
And is not the king divinely ordered?
So he believes.
James the First said that Charles the First proved he was wrong. And lost his head for it.
I beg your pardon, sir. That is an argument?
Charles II gave way to James II, who gave way to William and Mary because of the precise kind of arrogance and trampling upon the liberties of Englishmen that is the Stamp Act represents.
Well, I think you are precipitous in your resort to violence and coercion. I do. Have you petitioned? Have you tried to remedy anything in any lawful way? No. As I say, I believe that Mr. Lee is behind this. He was always a rash man.
There's no question about that point, Mom. I'll give you that one. There you're correct.
And he's been going around saying terrible things about your brother. Is that why you are now so hot to go after my poor husband? Because Mr. Lee is calling you a coward? Is that it?
His comments, my dear sister, are perhaps directed because we could not address your dear brother, your dear husband in the manner in which he should be addressed, because we have acquiesced to familial issues.
Yes, we had not the resources of persuasion that we hope to bring to him anon. And if they include pistols, swords, and if you have one, firelock,
Well,
then there
sir,
it be.
I will defend us if needs be against you.
Pop gun like that, madam. I trust it isn't loaded.
It's not at the moment, sir, but it will be, and I am a good enough shot from a close-up range.
Now, 5 paces, you are safe.
And large enough a target, I expect you were going to add, but no, you're too much of a gentlewoman for that.
I am, sir.
Well, I don't know where this leads us, brother, except that we should perhaps continue our plans, and forgive me for being so rude to your sister, who is a gentlewoman, even though she chooses at times not to behave as if she were, that we used to ignore these female vapors and continue our planning.
This is lawless and treasonous. And there are others who believe as I do, sir. And they're not all women, although I must say I don't regard the opinion of women as quite so slightly as you seem to. But you will see, we will have our day when the lawful forces, the forces that are loyal to the king, will take care of you.
Madam, you've taken my handkerchief.
Yes, it's too much. It's just
Oh, no,
too
oh, no.
much. I am going to
27th
leave now.
instant is upon us.
And William, you'll find yourself in a terrible way if you continue to be treasonous and outrageously unlawful, resorting to violence like this. What does your wife think?
That this family dispute may be resolved, but your dear husband must come to rights with what is to pass. He must.
No alternative, Tom.
It's a terrible price you ask to pay. And then what will happen when the forces of order and lawfulness regain control? You'll be sorry
Our forces
for this.
of lawfulness, sir, would you not agree?
I would agree, sir. And to the extent other forces come into play, well, we will just have to deal with that as it comes, ma'am. There are two great principles at stake here.
Yes, well, it's obvious that you've convinced yourself, and no rational argument or facts can convince you otherwise. You're quite as secure in your opinion as if you were the king himself, sir.
Good day to you, ma'am.
Good day, sir.
Take care on the stairs. Your childhood, Colonel, must have been hell.
So is my adulthood.
I wonder if I could impose upon the colonels, Colonel Waring and Colonel Roane, to indulge
a lot
the
of doors that open.
doors to the past. I wonder if we could indulge upon you to entertain some questions from some of the potential confreres who might accompany you to the streets of Tappahannock and to Leedstown.
I don't see why not, but why don't you invite Mistress...
I think I will.
Mistress Ritchie.
You won't mind if she's allowed to answer a question or two?
Just run off to the well or something.
She's taking her house key that she wears on her thing and dragging it along the side of my carriage. You know,
She's always been rather high-spirited, as you well know, and it continues to this day.
So I hope you have enjoyed this little vignette, which I will tell you was completely spontaneous. We only had a general idea of what was going to happen. We had no idea that that was going to happen. It's quite the way that it did.
Unfolded very nicely, I'd say.
Well, there were 115 signers of the Leedstown Resolutions, and we've highlighted in years past the number of members of the Lee and Washington and Monroe families. And a couple of years ago, Charles did a presentation on William Sidner and on Moore Fauntleroy, who was his father-in-law. And we've had presentations on Alvin Moxley, those lesser-known signers. So today we're delighted to recognize 2 from Essex County. There were 12 out of the 115 that were from Essex County. William Roane and Francis Waring, and we thank Ted and Jamie Borek, who are in fact husband and wife, and Bob Bailey for providing us with this.
It's like old times, isn't it?
For providing us with this great little story.